Here's something nobody is going to tell you about corresponding with an inmate. If for whatever reason you are unable to answer the phone, or if you are unable to send and receive text messages, it will tell them that you blocked them. It doesn't matter if it had nothing to do with you, if you're in a bad cell site, or if the facility rejected you, or if the program's glitching out, Securus or Telecoin or Prodigy, whatever you use, it doesn't matter. It will tell your loved one that you blocked them, that you couldn't accept their call, that you didn't accept their call. It tells them you're blocked, you're rejected, without any reason. This is something that my husband and I experienced firsthand in week 3. So I had mentioned that in the second week I was looking for a job and trying to get the car back up and running. And during that time there was a lot of back and forth where he was trying to communicate with me, I was trying to communicate with him, trying to give him real-time updates, and he was giving me ideas, giving me instructions, telling me what I need to do next, what was going to work. Well, that didn't work out the way we had hoped it would, and it got a little rough there. So we were trying to figure out a way to communicate more reliably, and in the middle of that, we got cut off. I just looked down one day, I noticed he hadn't messaged me in a while, and it said that his ability to use Telecoin had been suspended. So I called the facility, I asked why, and LaFleur County Jail told me that it was because we had some kind of inappropriate interaction, and that was the reason they suspended him. Now, we hadn't done anything inappropriate. There wasn't even really swearing or anything like that, but regardless, I asked for a reason. They wouldn't give me one. I pressed the issue because the way it's supposed to work is that if for any reason they do deny you the right to communicate, they are supposed to tell you why. And they're supposed to tell you why in writing, which is not difficult. It's a text message would do it. A message in the Telecoin saying you were blocked from interaction due to this, that, and the other thing. Okay, that would be acceptable. For whatever reason, they would not tell me why. And they got very angry with me when I asked them why. I strongly suspect that it was in retaliation, possibly because of videos like this, or because of some things that we had issue with as far as him not getting his medical like he was supposed to. We did end up having problems with some, but not all of the nurses not giving him what he needed. And there were really important medicines, ones that basically keep your stomach from destroying you from the inside out. But that is a tangent to the point, but not the point. The point is that we were unhappy with them, and they knew it, and I believe that they restricted our communication in response to that. So for the end of his time there, we were not able to talk to each other. And during week 3, he got transferred to receiving, which in Oklahoma, for men, that is Lexington. Lexington is not a good place to be. It is filthy, crowded, hot all the time, crawling with insects and rodents and all manner of things that are biting you and biting everybody else in the facility, spreading God knows what diseases. And they run you through the ringer there. They disrupt your sleep. They call you in and out for this, that, and the other thing, and the rest of the time you sit there waiting. for the next thing. Noise all hours of the night, flashlights in your eyes all hours of the night. And the only saving grace was the tablet, which they issue you. Through the tablet, you can do all your text, all your phone, video if you get it. You don't get it in Lexington. Books, podcasts, which are all good things, but they all drain battery. And that's another thing nobody tells you about corresponding with an inmate. The battery is important. And while he was in receiving, messaging and phone calls were pretty much all his tablet could handle on the charge he had, because he was not able to charge the tablet by himself. In order to get your tablet charged, you have to send it out, and someone else takes it away from you, puts it on a charger somewhere, charges it an indeterminate percentage, could be 10%, could be 100, you could get 50. It's like battery percentage roulette, and you don't know when you're getting it back. So the first call he tried to make to me was on the tablet, and it took a few calls to figure it out. But whenever I received it, I had heard the automated message saying, you know, call from such and such at Lexington Reception Facility, and I tried to answer it, but it would not let me. The reason it would not let me is because I needed to set up an account with Securus. So, another big point here, if you are corresponding with an inmate in Oklahoma, they're in state, they're using Securus. The whole Oklahoma Department of Corrections uses the same Securus, I guess, profile. It's all under OKDOC. Everything, whenever he was eventually transferred to the prison where they sent him, it was still on his OKDOC account. His texts, his stamps, his information that he had saved, the tablet, the profile, and everything just transferred right over with him. So I'm getting ahead of myself here. If you're in Oklahoma, if you're in state, you're using Securus. So when I figured out how to use Securus, he told me where he was, and I was happy we could communicate at first. I remained happy we could communicate, but we could really only communicate at first, because as time went on, that battery percentage became more and more of an issue. And as they switched out trustees, and as he remained in that facility for, I believe, over a month, he was there way longer than he was in county. It just became more inconsistent, more insufficient, and there wasn't a lot that he could do in there. So in the meantime, I, out here, had just started a new job whenever he first got transferred. It was not a good one. It was the kind of job where you sit behind a desk for 10 hours a day in the middle of the day with no breaks, sneaking almonds under your desk, while you check out people who are buying couches and ottomans that cost more than you make in a month. It was not a good place, and I was still looking. So I was working there and job hunting that week, and trying to figure out Securus. And we can chalk week 3 up to another just completely insane, chaotic week where I had no time to do anything, and I just tried my best to stay in touch with him. And for the most part, he was doing better in the first week than in the subsequent weeks there. But it was still not good, and it just went from bad to worse because once you run out of stuff they need you for, the rest is just waiting.